Well, we ran the Camry that we were in a rush to build, and it had some problems. Pretty sure I have a broken brake line somewhere, so I had no brakes the entire derby, which I don't really recommend people doing, but beating such a small sandy track kind of slows you down pretty quick. So I did run no brakes, and it wasn't great, but it worked. But what happened to this car? Nothing happened. It actually ran pretty good. Starting to sound a little weird. I think the timing is a little off. The day of the derby, I had no spark in cylinder number 4. So pulled it apart, put new plugs and wires into it, and I actually broke plug 2. Half the spark plug wire stayed on the spark plugs. Had to pull the head off and do that. Fix that here before I left, so we got that in there. I'm really starting to like these big holes in the hood, and I know that it takes away from some of the strength of the hood, but guys, this is so much easier. I can do the rad fluid, I can check the oil, I can add ATF, I can do everything through these holes in the hood, and I kind of like how the Lumina was, because I was able to do all that from the top. So this thing here is, Beeton's usually a very stock build, and this thing is very stock. Battery just ratchet strapped to the floor. Fire extinguisher I put there. I did not like it. I did not like that at all. I will never do that again. My arm is all swollen. I must have hit it 100 times off that fire extinguisher. I do not like that. We did try to tube these rear tires to, oh, slipped on the mud, to see if they'd hold together better. I think it's a waste of a tube. I really think that's a waste of a tube. I will not do that again. That is like a $16 tube inside those rims. Yes, it's easier to put them together with the tubes, but I think that is a bloody waste, because I lost both of them. This rear frame rail did something I've never seen in a Camry before. This rear frame rail is conked over so bad, it was almost on a 45 out here. This is my frame rail. I cut it off, and then this is the rest of my frame rail. I had a tractor push it straight, so it was over top of the rear end for the finals, but it still went over this tire. So we have to do some work to the back of this car. This car here will be ran, I think, again this year, and it needs some work. I need to check timing because I'm not happy with how this thing's sounding. I need to fix this rear end, and I need to get brakes on it. So we'll be running all new lines on this thing from this side to that side, trying to get this thing to have brakes, because guys, I kind of need them. You can make fun of me all you want. I like having brakes. Sounds like a squirrel just fell out of a tree over there. But yeah, this car here did us pretty good. We ended up winning our heat, and then, oh, I didn't even put an axle nut on here. You guys can tell I was in a rush. So we ended up winning our heat. We won the finals, which I was pretty happy with. Beeton's one of those derbies that I really, really like going to every year. It's like my hometown show. And the promoter was a little upset that there was only 13 cars there. So in the heat, you'll see me trying not to kill anybody, trying to push a lot of cars so that they keep going to put on a little bit more of a show. And in the finals, you'll see that I tried to do no kill shots. I just tried to hit doors just to keep the show going, because, guys, these are all my friends. Like, there's 13 people in that ring, and everybody in that ring knew me by name. This is like my hometown track. Beeton's one of those ones that I kind of really like going to, just to support the fair, you know. And I tried my best. I tried the best to keep the show going. I had lots of fun. I had a couple buddies there, and I think it was a good day. I ended up going into the grudge match afterwards. I ended up winning the grudge match as well, and they offered $100 to first and second for the grudge match. I said give the money to second and third, and I just want the trophy. The trophy was a beer mug, and I walked right up to the beer gardens with my mug, and they filled it up for me. It was awesome. So, guys, I think that there's a lot to be said about having fun. The Lumina was fun, but I was disappointed because I got angry. This one here, I had fun. I drove the way I wanted to. I felt good about how I did drive, and I think that's better. I think that's better at the end of the day, is feeling good about how you drove. So there will be some build up on this. The frame is tweaked here in the front. Nothing too bad, but realistically, I don't think I drove this car hard enough to bend the front of it. I tried to use the back the entire time, so we will be molding this back together because it's not doing so hot. Like I went there and only realized I had one lug nut on this tire, so I stole lug nuts that were on other people's cars, because technically they're all my cars, and put them on this. Stole 2 lug nuts, one off each tire on the guy on the back, and put them on this. I was kind of underprepared for this event. As you guys can see, there's still no axle nut on it. But yeah, just tried some simple new things and didn't like the fire extinguisher, I'll tell you that. And I do have a simplified wiring harness in this, but I didn't even have time to cut all the wiring out. So maybe within the next couple weeks, I think I have 4 weeks before this show, 3 weeks before this next show, I can get this thing kind of tuned up. But we still have to fix that Dakota for next weekend, and then we got to fix this car for next weekend as well. So there's still a couple more shows that we have this year. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here later on Zach's Workshop.